Hello, everyone. This is Dude Get In. My name is Pig. I'm here with my host.
Mine's Paralerts.
And Para, for this month, I had you watch two movies.
Yeah, to celebrate the Christmas spirit of this the Christmas cast. Ho ho ho, everyone! Happy Kwanzaa.
Or Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is you celebrate. Yeah, so I had you watch the Exorcist movies, specifically 1 and 3.
Yeah, weird how they didn't make it two. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's because it's weird to make a sequel like almost 20 years later, but also call it 3.
Yeah, it should have just been called The Exorcist: Legion.
Yeah, something or other. Yeah, so if you're not aware, if you're not initiated, The Exorcist is a very old movie from the 70s.
Kind of iconic and influential
It,
amongst horror media.
it was at one point considered the scariest movie ever made. I don't know about that. It's very dark
Well,
and like depressing in a way.
well, like what movies came out before it that you would argue are scarier?
What did come up before that?
Yeah.
Like I just
Because,
not.
like, on release being called scariest ever made, they might have had a point there.
But it was called that for even years after the fact.
Well, it is a very well made movie.
Mhm.
I guess spoilers for the whole review thing. They're good movies. I liked them a lot. But yeah, you met my double feature recommend with your own double feature recommend to do the big spooky scares. And then 2 weeks later let me know the Christmas Connection was the movie they mentioned watching in The Exorcist 3 was It's a Wonderful Life.
It plays a pivotal role in the plot of that. That vaguely makes it a Christmas movie.
You are reaching.
Listen. If you watch A Wonderful Life and then Exorcist 3, that's a pretty good double feature.
That's the canon watch order is first you watch The Exorcist, then you watch It's a Wonderful Life, then you watch The Exorcist 3.
So, The Exorcist is an adaptation of a book by. Let me quickly get the author's name.
Who gave us these wonderful stories?
It was adapting a book by William Peter Blatty, who took inspiration from a real life exorcism that took place somewhere in South America.
I thought somebody said it was in the Philippines, or is that just the line in the movie?
It may have been the Philippines one. I believe that is like a direct reference to the actual like exorcism that the book was originally written about.
Mm.
An exorcism happened in the Philippines. William Peter Blatty wrote a book about it, loosely covering it, and then was adapted into the movie The Exorcist.
Yeah, and I believe you told me while we watched that many of the tropes and formulas of horror as a movie genre weren't really well established at this point.
No, this
Uh,
was 73. Like I believe that's
yes,
when did Halloween come out? 78. Says in like
yeah, so it's a very trope-free horror movie, which was nice because I don't watch a lot of horror movies because, like, I don't like a lot of them. Not for like the reasons of scary movies bad, just a lot of them aren't well executed and rely on like tropes and cheap things like jump scares and whatnot. But things that have like really solid pacing and like tense scary atmosphere I do enjoy. Like John Carpenter's The Thing is probably my favorite horror movie. It's awesome and like leaves you wondering about different elements of it after you've watched. And that's like the style of horror that I would enjoy. This is also like very well constructed, very well paced. Both of them, really. And like don't rely on any cheap things. They do want you to like consider all like the implications of everything that happened. And I don't know, it's just it felt like I wasn't watching a horror movie at first, which is kind of one of my favorite things in horror is when like before the horror elements are introduced, this could have been a different movie.
the
'Cause
the
I
the,
was
uh, the,
legitimately like kind of invested in like what was going on with Rich Lady and her daughter and like the broken family dynamic and like their lives were interesting before the daughter started freaking out.
The director, William Friedkin, had a pass in documentary filming,
Hmm.
and you can really feel that like while like during the early phases of the movie, during the early phases of the movie before like any of the overtly supernatural stuff starts being pulled in, like all the
Yeah.
scenes of like doctors experimenting, like testing things on Reagan. There's a
Yeah.
really like there's a really gnarly scene of doctors hooking her up to like a 1970s X-ray machine.
Oh yeah.
They gotta
That went
put
hard.
they gotta put a tube in her neck with a and you can see blood spurting out of it just a little bit.
Yeah, and like we're sitting in call watching it just going, holy shit, they're putting her in the contraption.
Like these fucking giant machines like being pushed in surrounding her head and making this loud repeated banging noise going bam 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 bam.
Yeah, like, it feels like it was easy to like I don't know how much medical equipment was just like that back in the day, but it feels very easy to use that sort of thing to make a scary kind of atmosphere in a scene because that's just inherently kind of menacing, even if it's functioning exactly as intended.
It very much like there is like a small like supernatural element early on with the Ouija board where you see the little thingy just like zoom from one end of the board
Like
to the other, but like you could like you could like wave that or hand wave that away like Reagan must have like flicked it or maybe like there's like a breeze or something, who knows, but it moved a bit.
Yeah, and even before that, we have the whole like excavation thing where like nothing explicit happens, but you just see this really well shot like staring match, like the standoff
Yeah,
between
yeah.
like John Exorcist, the titular exorcist, and
Father
just
Marin.
an ancient, yeah, Father Marin, and the statue of an ancient statue of a demon
Yeah,
who is not named in this film.
yeah, let's actually go over the opening scene.
All right.
Somewhere in the Middle East, Father Marin is participating in in a archaeological excavation where one guy finds a little like icon of a little demon, and there's no like explicit like dialogue or anything that like says anything, but like something just happened. Father Marin
Yeah.
goes to visit another priest nearby. They're talking a little bit, and then the grandfather clock just stops. The tech talk just stops. Like, what was that? What's going on? And then we move on to we go to the standoff. Father Marin, this demon. The stage is set for these two to meet and clash. It's such a wonderful opening
And
scene. I'm thinking about it now. Like I'm like, damn, that was good.
yeah, and again, they just no mention of demons or any supernatural stuff for like a little bit until the one Ouija board thing, and then again, it gives you a fairly lengthy break before the next thing, which is just the mention that oh, she's having trouble sleeping. She says her bed moves a bit. Let's take her to a doctor, and you get a while of this testing, and they don't immediately cut to like what a lot of modern movies would, which is like first or second like cutaway from the let's run some tests. One or two cuts later, it's going to be a test that's supposed to be routine, and then something goes wrong or something's off, something's creepy, a little supernatural here and there. Now you get to see like her in like 10 different like tests or rooms or doing something before she even does anything out of character. Like they let it drag out. They're not afraid to just let you sit here wondering, is she even possessed at this point, or like when's it gonna happen?
There's this like slow like degeneration of Reagan like,
Yeah,
over the
it starts off
course of
subtle with just the trouble sleeping, and then like misbehaving in the doctor's office and this and that,
and
before you actually get shit flying.
it escalates to like horrendous swearing like oh my god, a 70s 9-year-old should never be uttering these words.
I kept forgetting that she's supposed to be that young because she looks bigger than that.
She's like at most 12.
Yeah, but regardless, a straight and narrow kid like that shouldn't like tell anyone that their mother sucks cocks in hell.
Like just this 12-year-old just saying.
Makes me chuckle. There are a few things that made me laugh in this movie, and just because I'm like, damn, they just did it. This movie had balls, pig. I
Oh
appreciate
yeah.
that. It's also, I think it's worth mentioning that apparently there's two cuts of this movie that are popular to watch, and we watched the ones with the bonus scary faces superimposed here and there.
Yeah, there's the theatrical cut and then the extended cut, which adds things that the writer insisted that they re-add. The superimposed scary faces I could do without, although they don't take away as much as you would think, and they
Yeah,
don't
like the
appear.
the one on the like stove cover or whatever it was is the one that got me go, what? Wait, what the fuck was that?
The only one I could like wholeheartedly disagree with is like the spookification of Reagan's face, like during during like the therapist scene.
It kind of reminds me of that scene in Fellowship of the Ring where like for 1 second Bilbo starts to go for the ring
Oh,
and
and
they just like they spook up his face real bad for 1 second.
I mean that worked for that movie. Like it doesn't do anything for this movie.
Yeah. They didn't need that. There was enough weird shit. Do you have a favorite part of like the build up to holy shit, what is actually going on here? Because I think mine is her just like coming into the middle of the party to piss herself in front of everyone.
Mine was it was when she spider walks down the stairs. Like the scene leading up to that, where she just learned that her ex-husband died.
Wait, her ex,
Yeah,
the dad died? The
yeah, yeah.
ex-husband?
Yeah, he was the
I thought it was like the dude she was currently dating, like got murdered, but
no.
I didn't know.
The director of the movie is her ex-husband.
I thought that was the guy she was currently dating, and the dad was just Gonzo.
I may be misremembering, but I think that
Yeah,
is
I'm
it is
pretty sure.
the dad, because he was visiting Reagan specifically.
No, because remember, like it was like the nanny or whoever was like, oh, your guy was here, and I had him go up and check on her, and then she pushed him out the window or whatever. I gotta look this up now.
Yeah, regardless, like he got pushed out by Reagan out the window and fell down the ludicrously steep stairs. And those are real stairs, by the way. You can go visit. You can go
Yeah,
visit
like
those
didn't the
stairs.
writer specifically want those stairs to be used in the filming because they were the ones
Yes,
he was
yes,
writing about when he originally wrote it?
yes. He wrote about those stairs in particular, so they had to actually film like at the house next to those stairs.
Okay, yeah, no, it was Burke Dennings, the director man, who it was implied that they were considering dating or had been dating. The dad was the one being screamed at for never like showing up
Ah, okay, yeah,
on the phone.
yeah, yeah. The mom, Chris McNeil,
Chris.
just learned that he died.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is that what happened outside? Was that him? Like, oh God, oh fuck. And then Reagan just comes in, spider walking down the stairs, blood coming out of her mouth. Like, there's too much going on. What the fuck? Like that is like at the tipping point where like I don't know what to do anymore. 49 doctors and they can't tell me anything. I think
Yeah.
it was a scene or two prior where she's actually at the meeting with like all the doctors. I'm like, we did all the tests, but
What?
we don't really
Yeah.
know.
What if you get a priest to do a placebo exorcism, and then she goes and finds a priest, and he's like, "Oh, that's real shit."
So over the course of all this happening, she becomes aware of Father Karras.
Yeah, who is pretty great, by the way. Like he
Oh,
is a very likable character.
well, a thing that
He,
happens early on with him is his mother dies. Was that his mother
uh,
or his grandmother? I don't know which one.
I believe it's his mother.
Yeah.
Because she's the one who sucks cocks in hell. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, he visits his mother who's having some troubles, and he's like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm around now. I wish I'd been around more sooner, because you need somebody checking in on you and helping you out, because she's not in like a home with people dedicated taking care of her, and she's getting to a point where it looks like she might need that, and he's concerned and is having this whole other character arc where he's like worrying about her and about if he's doing enough as her son. And he's also struggling with his faith, and he feels like he's just going through the motions of being a priest, and he doesn't really have a lot of belief in him anymore. And he's like seeing if he should maybe get out of the priesthood. But for like certain things, like, being able to help people on an individual case by case basis, like he has a psychology background, so he's the best equipped for that sort of thing. So there's also a lot of responsibility on him, kind of tying him down, and he's struggling with all of that. And in the middle of all of it, his mother has an accident, winds up in the hospital. He's trying to get her out, and she'll be like, "No, I'm gonna take care of you," and then she winds up dying anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's really tragic for him, and like you feel like he's almost like at a breaking point himself, in the same way that Chris McNeil is, as she first approaches him.
Before we move on to the actual the following parts of the movie, I want to like bring up these two characters, Father Dyer and Lieutenant Kinderman. They both have a
Oh yeah,
connection
yeah,
to Father Karras. Father Dyer being his priest friend, his buddy, his pal,
yeah.
and Lieutenant Kinderman, who comes up to him like after the death of the director man
Burke Dennings.
of Burke Dennings.
Yeah, it's there was one line of dialogue that I took issue with in Exorcist 3, which was when our lieutenant was like, I knew Karras, so I loved him like a brother," and I'm like, "No, you didn't. You knew the guy for a week.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?"
that's a book thing.
Oh, did they have like an actual history in the book?
Yeah. Like we'll get more to that when we're actually talking about 3.
Okay, yeah. I just, since we brought up the connection, I was like, hey, this thing that bothered me though.
But yeah, these two side characters having a connection to Father Karras and the whole the whole situation overall.
Yeah, like Dyer's like, as far as we know, the only priest that he was like really venting to about like his issues and this whole arc I described a minute ago, while Kinderman like just seeks him out in relation to some crimes going around about if there could have been like a religious psychological angle to certain killings, and Karras is like, nah, man, you can go talk to someone else. You ain't getting nothing here. To which Kinderman replies, you should talk to me though. I'll be back. I'll get information out of you. You want to watch a movie, by the way? Oh man, I love movies. I love movies so much.
You want to watch it? There's this movie playing. Who's in it? All these characters. I've seen it. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen it already. He just wants somebody to go to the movies with. He needs a bro.
But
That's my favorite part about him.
Back to McNeil and Karras. When she first approaches him, he's at first like standoffish. Listen, exorcisms haven't been done in like a long time. It's practically like extinct in the church now. Stuff like mental illness, schizophrenia, autism, stuff like that. The demon possession isn't just really isn't a thing. It's all these things that now we have psychology, which is like me. That's what I do.
Yeah, like 95% of these cases at least can be explained with logic and science now, we know. So, like, there's hardly any of this going on anymore. And she's like, yeah, but you ain't seen this. You need to see this.
So out of the kindness of his heart, he just, okay, I'll see what's up with this. And then his interactions with her, this is where like we are like first seeing like the demon actually coming through Reagan for the first time in the movie.
It's really interesting because like by this point we have seen supernatural phenomenon. It's not just like the push through the window, which was off screen. We hear about after the fact. They don't show us that. The spider walk is creepy, but not necessarily supernatural. We have seen the bed flying up and down with like multiple people on it at this point.
We saw a lot like
this
a bunch of stuff in the room just flying in a circle.
Yeah, this 12-year-old just bitch slapped the hell out of her mother, like send her flying across the room with it.
One thing about that like that scene in particular, to do the effect, they tied a rope or I guess like a string to the actress's like waistline, and they pulled the fuck out of her, so she actually hit the back of her head onto the wall there.
Which I don't believe did any major damage, so it's something we can laugh about now and not be assholes.
The movie came out. This
yeah.
Okay, so this was filmed at a time where you can get away with doing whatever the fuck you wanted to actors. You could beat them up, you could burn them, you could like hit them with a shovel, whatever.
Like it's
Nowadays
gotten less
there's
over time, but people were still doing it for a while.
nowadays there's unions and shit. You can't like beat
Yeah,
up your actors or yell at
cowards.
them. You can't yell at your actors
So
or throw rocks at them anymore.
one of my favorite stories like that, which I believe is true, is from Fight Club, where they're in the scene, the first fight in the parking lot. I believe the director pulled oh, what's his name? Not Brad Pitt, the other one. Fucking what is his name? God, I'm forgetting. The protagonist of the fucking movie.
Edward
I want to say
Norton.
it's Norman? Edward Norton. Fuck. Yeah, pulls him to the side and says, "Hey, actually fucking punch him." And doesn't tell Brad Pitt that. And then they do the take and he actually punches him in the fucking ear to get a real reaction. It's great. Uh, but yeah, by the time we see Reagan and Karis interact, which Reagan's hardly even in there anymore at this point, it's a really well done balancing act in how much they actually have her say and do, because like the story is still like him doubting his faith and his religion is still an element until like the titular exorcism. So like he is doubtful for like several interactions with Reagan, and she is giving just enough of like this shouldn't be possible for this child to know or say or do. It's just enough where he can like still be skeptical about it, but he's being convinced just a little bit over time.
like
It's really well constructed balancing act there, because she's not speaking in a bunch of tongues. She even points out, look, if she was speaking in a language she has no business knowing, that would be an impossibility that we could only explain with possession and would warrant an exorcism. But she's not actually doing that. Like, she
she
claims that
does.
she caused this drawer to open, but we don't know that. She could just be saying that, and it's a weird like hinge or something.
It could have just been the wind. There is a bit there where
Yeah.
she speaks Latin very briefly, but like, you could just hand with that. Oh, she just spoke gibberish, and it's just like pareidolia sounds like Latin to us.
Yeah. Or like she happened to hear it in a movie somewhere because it was just like a few words. You can repeat a single sentence of another language pretty close if you have a good ear.
There's
Uh,
on the recording that he grabs on cassette tape. He catches her speaking like gibberish, which is later explained to, oh, it's English backwards. That's the first thing. Okay, how is she doing that? It's authentically English backwards. And the other thing, which is the biggest thing, is the demon references his mother.
yeah, specific things about his mother. And like after the first like mention, which is in like I think the first or second time he even speaks to Reagan, like as he's leaving, he's like, I'll talk to her more, but I don't know. By the way, did you tell her anything about me or my mother? No, why? Don't worry about that. And that he just has to sit on that. It's just enough to keep him going, maybe there's something here. And after several interactions, he's like, I do like the way he words it because he's explaining the situation to his superior in the church. And he's like, do you believe she's possessed? I don't think I quite believe, but it does meet the requirements for us to perform an exorcism. And I really like that he makes that distinction. It because they don't. It's a movie that is very strong in its subtlety. It doesn't have a whole lot of scenes where he's like speaking out loud to himself or to another character about how, oh, I'm still struggling with my faith in these specific ways. But like making a distinction like that, it's just enough to where you can still tell he's struggling with it. It's really well done. Like even if horror's not my genre and this might not make like my top 5 movies of all time list, like I really appreciate how well made this movie is.
So
But as stated, he is convinced it meets the requirements. We're doing an exorcism, baby, but we need backup.
we need backup. Call the guy. Actually, before he actually gets the approval of an exorcism, the demon yells the name of Father Marin.
Yeah, it does. It name drops her nemesis. Like, but before they have a direct interaction, the name dropping the arch nemesis that's a pretty good move.
There's no
He
like
looked at my statue. I know he wants that smoke.
like Father Karras just hears the demon say Marin, and later
Dear Marin.
later they get Father Marin Marin to come in and help with the exorcism, to lead the exorcism. And his credentials, he performed an exorcism many years ago that took like 6 months or something like that.
And supposedly nearly killed him.
So we bring in Father Marin. The exorcism is finally going to start, and there's like this very slow build up as they're getting dressed and preparing to enter the room. Do not talk to the demon directly. Do not ask it questions, or do not answer its questions. It's a bunch of like warnings. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't waver.
It will tell lies, but it will mix in truths to help convince you of the lies.
Mhm.
Don't buy it. It's another one of those little things of like he's still thinking like this could be a psychology thing. Is well, there seem to be multiple personalities in this situation that are present, and I think you need to know about Father. So far, it just cuts him off clean. No, there's just one.
Because Father Marin knows. Father Marin already knows.
He knows. Can sense the aura.
He knows what he's fighting. He's prepared for it.
He doesn't elaborate at all. He just lets him know. No, I know exactly what's up, and you do not. You follow my lead. It's pretty sick, and the exorcism, like, shoutouts to like the way every shot in throughout the exorcism, like from that point on in the movie. I love the lighting so much. It's very awesome and makes for like some pretty great iconic shots, like with Reagan's silhouette in front of that one light, and or like when she's floating and lit from below, making the shadow on the ceiling. It's pretty sick. The exorcism starts. The boys go in. They're sprinkling holy water. They're chanting prayers. They're getting some resistance, but it's overall going well. But just like the sheer stress of it all, is getting to them like just minutes in. It's intense, and like you can see why it's so stressful. It tries to like this child is strapped to the bed, but still pulling off some shit. It tries to mess with them, like rage baiting,
gaslighting,
like just direct confrontation, gaslighting, girl bossing. Tries to gross out factors a few times. Fucking projectile vomiting, head spinning. Just like, can I enrage you? Can I shock you? Can I get you to stop focusing on your faith for more than a minute? And it starts to work on Karras a couple of times. And like throughout, they have a whole like, I guess, round of exercising before they're just like, okay, break time.
Break time.
That went good, but it's rough in there.
Break time. Let's sit on like on the top of the stairs and the banister and just deflate.
Let's collect ourselves. Catch your breath. Some real shit we're in right now, huh?
In the theatrical cut, they don't say anything that scene.
Really?
Yeah, they just sit there in silence before starting again. In this extended cut, we have a little bit of dialogue of like, why is the demon doing this? And Father Marin just answers, it wants to destroy your faith. It just wants to destroy your faith. It wants to like, basically, it just wants to spread misery and what's the word? Despair.
Yeah.
What's the best way to spread misery and despair? Let's possess a small little girl.
Corrupt the most innocent thing in the world, a little girl. Let's show that like that purity can be corrupted. And it knows you specifically and exactly what bothers you.
Just the exploration of evil in these movies is so really strong.
They ain't holding back.
Like they're not holding back. Like it's such a like strong and visceral like portrayal of evil. Yeah, like this is the most horrible thing possible.
Yeah, because it is like trying to be evil within its means, and in this body that is tied to bedposts. But can still move the bed sometimes. It has enough force. Shock and just psychological warfare are its strongest weapons a lot of the time, and it goes in. It goes in.
Like not just on Karras specifically, but also like on Reagan. Like her body's all cut up. Like in an earlier scene, the demon used a cross to just stab at her groin.
Screaming something along the lines of "Let Jesus Christ fuck you," like over and over again. And like as soon as like the mom comes and gets a hold of her, like holds her down long enough for Reagan to like regain a sense of self. She's like, "What is wrong with me?" And like just the terror of that, it's nuts. And of course, like most parents' worst nightmare is seeing their kids suffer and not being able to do anything about it. So it's automatically putting that despair in the mom.
Reagan is suffering. The mom is suffering. The
Mom's
two
boyfriend dies.
mom's boyfriend dies. The two house servants are like, what the fuck's going on? Why is this happening
Yeah.
to this family? Father Karras is suffering.
The only character who isn't really directly suffering is Kinderman, who's just having his own separate detective adventure that intersects with this. All he knows is that Karras doesn't like talking to him, and now there's this house he's been going to repeatedly had a corpse outside of it like 3 days ago. What's up with that? I'm gonna keep an eye on it. But he doesn't directly interact with the actual plot at all, hardly. And that's probably why he's the only character not suffering, is because he's the least involved while still being somewhat important.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is going through it.
Just by
Even like Marin, who has like since his encounter in the desert, has probably just had this sense looming of I'm gonna encounter this thing at some point, and now it's just the sheer stress of knowing, oh, it's here. This is it.
and,
This is it. I don't know if I'm getting through it.
and like because of his participation in that excavation, he probably feels responsible for letting that demon like free.
Yeah, for all, like he doesn't know if this like what the spirit is capable of, what it was before like the statue and little totem were discovered. He doesn't know if his excavationing changed anything. For all he knows, it could have. It could be his fault, and he'll never know. But he knows the demon will try to make him think that it is. Whether it's true is just up for grabs.
So after like a very like exasperated like just break, Father Marin
Going in
takes
for round two.
Father Marin. Well, first he takes his like daily elderly person medicine. You know that he keeps
Yeah,
on
I gotta take my meds.
yeah. It's that medicine that old people take, where it's like it's in their like little tablets, like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Today I take the Tuesday medicine.
Yeah. Alright, time to take the not die pills. Now I'm sure to not die. Alright, let's get in there and not die.
Karis, listen, you're out. You're out.
Yeah, they get like 2 minutes into round two before Karis gets baited and starts like lashing out, responding to the trolling, and Marin's just like, okay, you got to get it together. Until you do, you're not in here.
and whatever happens.
Which like how round one was portrayed made it seem like it was a two-man job. Like he was like, bro, carry your weight, bro. Be reciting your part of the prayers. I need you on this. So like him giving into the taunts has to be a huge deal for him to like shun that backup.
Like if you're not holding your own against this, then you're just dead weight against this.
Yeah.
So Father Cares gets shoved out, and we don't see what happens in there.
Yeah, our perspective stays with him, and like as he's sitting downstairs wondering like how's it going now, what's going on, like thinking about like how he let himself get baited and how he could be helping right now. None of this is told to us. You just see his expression and you just know how much weight is on his shoulders. The mom, Chris, walks up and asks, how's it going? Is it gonna be okay? And he, like the fact that the person who's relying on them to get her daughter through this is asking, makes him realize how much of a duty he has, and kind of like, he steels himself. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. We're doing this. And you see a really good shot of him going up the stairs while she stays downstairs. Oh, that shot really stuck with me because I just hang on it like his whole slow walk up the stairs. There's no music. There's very little music in this movie, which plays to the strengths of how it's made, but it almost feels triumphant seeing him like steel himself and get it together, and I'm gonna make sure that this gets done. You see him walk up the stairs determined, and he gets in the room. The other father is already dead. Like you get this one moment of like determination, and he's gonna do it, immediately undercut by, oh no, it's already gone south.
This movie does a really good job of just despair.
Yeah. And like teasing you with hope and then reminding you, no, this is bad.
And so we have our final conflict of Karis versus the demon.
He's never done an exorcism before. The only one with experience is now dead in front of him, and he was already just barely keeping it together. He does not know what to do here.
So
It's very clear.
so he does the only thing that he could like even conceive of doing, and that's take the demon in him. Take me,
Yeah,
take me.
like he wants to self-sacrifice to spare the child any more suffering,
The
and
the
the demon
demon,
takes the bait.
he takes the bait, and with
He's like,
just
bet.
with just the last ounce of just like free will, he jumps out the window and rolls down the stairs, breaking his neck.
Like Karis hits this demon that took out an experienced exorcist, hits him with the "you didn't win." It is such a dark ending, and I love that.
It's a dark ending, but there is hope at the end of this tunnel.
There is. You follow like the other characters in the wake of what's happened. Reagan is okay. Chris is gonna be okay. The people who knew Karis are sad and they will mourn, but the evil is defeated. End of sentence.
One of the last things that happens is Reagan sees Father Dyer, and though she has like no memory of the events at all, she just can't help but hug Father Dyer just upon seeing his priest collar. Like the mom asks like, "Oh, did you know him?" Like, "No, I just felt like hugging him." Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, it's like she doesn't know what happened, but she knows that like she was lucky to get through it, and she owes somebody something. And you see, like they're leaving, like that house was not a site of good things happening, so family's taken off, empty house now. The Father Dyer sees them off. Kinderman even wanders in to be like, "Hey, how are things here?" And Dyer lets him know, "Family's gone. You just missed them. You know, it's all over now." And you get to see them spark up what promises to be a long and healthy friendship. Although he still says no to the initial movie invite.
I wonder how many times it took him, how many like tries it took him for him to actually watch the movie together.
Yeah, because you know after they did, they became regular movie buddies.
So
But yeah, that's The Exorcist.
let me briefly mention The Exorcist 2, The Heretic.
Please do, because I've not seen any more than a single trailer that gave me all the wrong vibes for an Exorcist movie.
So Exorcist 2, The Heretic is a very weird sci-fi.
And that's
And
the only one where they actually name drop Pazuzu, right?
yeah, the demon in the first movie was a ancient Sumerian demon named Pazuzu. If you play SMT, then you know all about him.
Yeah. That's it's me, Pazuzu from Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, the demon in The Exorcist is an actual demon from Mesopotamia.
Shin Megami Tensei, yeah.
So it's so bizarre and strange and goes in places that you wouldn't expect. But for the most part, it's kind of just boring.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's weird and absurd, but it's mostly boring.
Like I saw there was some real ass actors in it.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, yo, James Earl Jones, what's up, man?
yeah.
Why are you in a trash movie?
He's wearing like a moth costume.
Yeah, it was weird. Like that one trailer just made me go, "This isn't an Exorcist movie, but James Earl Jones is cool." that was my some takeaway of that trailer.
Yeah. Well, enough of that. Let's go
Yeah.
to the real sequel. So, The Exorcist 3 adapts William Peter Blatty's second book, simply titled Legion. And William Peter Blatty actually adapted the book into the screenplay and directed this movie. So, this is a movie written and directed by a book writer. And it really does come off as a movie made by a guy who wrote a book.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's also the actors have changed, so like you don't immediately recognize Kinderman, who's
Yeah.
really like the main character here.
Kinderman and Father Dyer are back. This is 17 years later from the dialogue of the movie. This was released in 1990.
Where like a few horror genre tropes have been established at this point, and a couple of them do get used in this movie, but not in like a bad way. Like there's little bits of jump scare and jump scare fake outs, but they're used sparingly enough where you don't mind it.
It's arguably the best jump scare in movies.
And man, the finale of that movie goes hard, but getting a little ahead of things. It's they do a lot of work to just establish, much like the first movie, they really want to like spend the first part like slowly laying your groundwork, establishing what our new status quo is, what what are the main things that our primary characters are focused on in life.
So, Kinderman and Father Dyer, since the events of the first movie, have just they're just best friends now. They
Yeah,
watch
and
they
pals.
watch movies all the time. They chit chat they chit chat around.
Hmm.
Like a lot of their dialogue is really funny. Like the bit about the fish
Oh
in this
yeah.
in the bathtub.
Eh, He's like, I can't, I can't go into my bathroom to do things like a shower. If I'm there and that fish isn't moving, I'm going to make sure the fish never moves again. So I can't be there right now.
My
It's
I will
it
read the
is
entire
very like depressed, grouchy old man dialogue, and I'm here for it.
I will read the entire quote. My wife's mother is visiting father, and Tuesday night she's cooking us a carp. It's a tasty fish. I've got nothing against it. But because it's supposedly filled with impurities, she buys it live. And for 3 days, it's been swimming up and down in my bathtub, up and down. And I hate it. I can't stand the sight of it moving its gills. Now you're standing very close to me, father. Have you noticed? Yes, I haven't had a bath for 3 days. I can't go home until the carp is asleep because if I see it swimming, I'll kill it. And the entire time, Father Dyer is like laughing, like, what? What are you saying to me? What is this?
It's great. I love these like grouchy old dudes being like just depressed and helping each other hang in there. It's great. Like Kinderman has like a weird focus, almost obsession with the Gemini Killer.
Who
Was
was
very
who?
is he still is the Gemini Killer like as well known as he used to be? I don't think that's like a thing that like everyone has heard of at this point. I think some Zoomers ain't heard of that.
Okay, no. You're thinking of the Zodiac Killer.
A Zodiac Killer. Why did it call it Gemini? Fuck.
The Zodiac Killer
Fake serial killer fan confirmed.
yeah, it is very much like inspired by Zodiac. But the Gemini Killer was a serial killer who was active at well in like the same year that the first Exorcist movie takes place in.
Yeah.
Like, well, while all that's happening, like, Kinderman is investigating the Gemini Killer. And as far as we know, the Gemini Killer was executed, like, that year. But we're getting a bit held up. I want to, like, actually describe the opening scene of the movie.
Oh, well then by all means.
It is a first-person shot of, like, just someone, like, heavy breathing. Like, just walking, like, down the street, like, at night. We see this little kid who's wearing a police boys club shirt. No, he hands the guy a balloon. Snap cut. That kid is dead now. Kinderman, uh, Kinderman finds the body after he's been like dragged out of the river. He pulls up the sheet to like inspect the body, and like just the face he gives is like he just saw like just a horrible thing that happened to a kid that he personally knew.
Yeah.
Like
Like he knows that kid by name.
this kid is like 13 at most, and Kinnaman just like pulls up the sheet to see his dead body, and that's like that's just how we start the movie. After Kinderman and Father Dyer are like while they're eating. This is after they just saw the movie It's a Wonderful Life. You know
Yeah.
this feel good Christmas movie. Kinderman describes the body to Father Dyer, and this is like after like Father Dyer is like, oh, we have to have hope. Like there's always hope for the world, man. He describes the state in which he found the body, the head decapitated, replaced with the head of a statue of Jesus with ingots embedded in its eyes. Like, oh,
Yeah, it's not a pretty picture he's painting there. Very like ritualistic type of shit to do to a person. And even just like and as like more information is revealed over time, like they get the report back from the coroner, like they saw what else was going on with the body. Oh, they put in chemicals to where like throughout the first like long chunk of everything that was done to that body, kid was alive and feeling most of that, just paralyzed and couldn't stop it, and just the more you learn about the method of this killer, the worse it gets. It's a description that sticks with you. I think I forget. Like, how does the father respond to this information?
he kind of just like I don't even think he even like says like much. He just like stares blankly, like his hands like shake as he like takes off his glasses to like wipe them. Like what do you say to that? Like what do you say to your friend who just told you that?
Like, there's not much, but also, one detail that you skipped about that opening is I mentioned earlier how The Exorcist 1 very light on music, but it does have one like pretty well known like iconic sort of theme tune that
Uh,
plays.
Commonly known as the Exorcist theme, which is the first couple seconds of Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield, which is a 48-minute song. It is one of my favorite songs. If I was more versed in talking about music, I would probably recommend this album by itself as a recommend.
Yeah, but you just don't think you can get an hour of podcast out of an album.
I don't think I have like the knowledge and capabilities to actually talk about an album fully.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like an amateur musician, and I don't know if I could do it either.
But yeah, like, the first couple
But
seconds of that song are used in the first movie. It's very very iconic. You already know it. It's been used in a couple other
yeah,
movies as well. I think like
it's pretty well known, and the only time it appears in The Exorcist 3 is the very beginning of the opening scene.
you hear
Just
it.
like this one reminder to let you know it's The Exorcist. You know what you're in for here, but then you never hear it again.
The song gets swallowed up by this like this very like oppressive growling and groaning like that will occasionally come up in the film again whenever bad shit is happening.
You know, you
Yeah,
like get this ominous, like almost ambient background thing before like a snarl comes in. It's some nice like fucking tone setting type of shit.
yeah, whatever you knew of the last movie, like this is like an evil overpowering even that. But the next person we see die is a priest who at the time of his murder we don't know, but we are later reminded that is the former chaplain who was Father Karras' superior, who gave him the approval of the exorcism.
It's and kind of like the first movie, like it is approached by practically all characters as normal human activities. Like it's
Like
another case where it takes a while before like any sort of possession or supernatural shit is considered.
this
And I
is just
appreciate that because even though this is a thing that happened, like it's nobody's first guess still because like of it was the one time and how many years it's been.
okay, like this is just a murder.
Yeah.
Kinderman is very
Oh, here's a second
invest.
murder. It's a serial case. Okay, but it's still not a supernatural thing. It's just weird.
After a bit, Father Dyer is in the hospital. It's just a routine checkup. He'll be fine.
Until it's not fine. You
Until it's
know,
very much not fine.
we do get some good dialogue between the two best buddies while they're at the hospital.
He brings him
Little stuffed animal and maybe a newspaper while he's sitting there reading different magazines that he found. But he's like, "These are all old. Can you bring me something new to read? I'm bored."
like he brings him a penguin plushie. I think. Here,
Yeah, I think it was a penguin.
I got this for you. It reminded me of you. Here, have it.
It's okay. Like you really do like seeing these two interact with each other, which makes it hurt more with what happens.
Kinderman is
'Cause,
called into the hospital, and Father Dyer is dead. Next to him is a table full of jars of what we learn in the scene is blood. Father Dyer's blood.
just
It is
as
all of
much
his.
as possible drained out of him.
It is all of his blood, not a single drop spilled, all in the containers, except for a little bit. They had some tarp over the wall covering some evidence. They pull it back. It's a Wonderful Life in blood.
Slightly misspelled.
It's very slightly misspelled in a very
You might not even catch it the first time you see it.
in a very specific way. Kinderman catches it immediately.
And
And
he starts feeling some kind of way about it.
the first murder, the little boy. The second murder, the priest. The third murder, his best friend, also a priest. These are all the evidence is leading to the Gemini killer. But the Gemini killer is dead. He was executed. We saw it. Kinderman saw it.
He was there.
The
He
pu-
knows that guy's dead, but he reveals to very few people
The public was
that
fed a lie.
yeah,
The public was told that the Gemini killer's modus operandi, his MO, was to do a thing to the right palm and then writes something on the back of the neck. But in reality, there's a symbol on the back of the left palm, and a finger was removed. No one knew that
Yes, and this was
except
done to weed out any imposters or crazy people who want to like get the attention, so that only people who worked on the case would know how the Gemini killer killed. And now that the killing is being done in the exact correct way, which freaks him the fuck out.
But one more thing. The Gemini killer would send letters to the news taunting them. He would always spell words that ended in L with two L's. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Two L's at the end of wonderful. The Gemini killer is back. How? I don't know.
Oh,
But it's him. There is no other explanation than this guy who I saw die is back.
as he's being shown around to the different places of the hospital, because this is the most recent murder, gotta look around, gotta figure out if there's anything here that can point me in the right direction. Goes to the you know, isolated containment psych ward hallway. Happens to peek into one specific cell before getting called back to business, and guy looks a little familiar. Gives him a weird vibe. Gotta
Eerily
ask about that
familiar.
guy later. Asks about him later. Oh, that's a John Doe. No name, no ID, no nothing. That we found about 17 years back. Don't know where he came from. Just knew he wasn't right in the head. Kept him here.
He's been like comatose ever since.
Yeah.
Recently
Started
he's
getting better a little while back.
yeah, recently he's had some activity, but like he's still like messed up.
Not good enough where we can let him out, but he's been doing things. Can I talk to this guy? And the interactions when we actually get in the cell with him are really well done.
There's some of
The
my there's some of my like the best monologues that in my opinion, my personal opinion. This is my opinion. This is fact. In fact.
but yeah, I was gonna say, are we just gonna get there?
Yeah, in my opinion, these are just some of the best monologues that I've seen in like anything.
They're really strong. You get a variety of voices, expression, really good back and forth between intensity of personalities, even like the lighting through like the really high windows on only one wall of the cell, coming in at an angle. It's really well done because you get this face like often like a little concealed in shadow where you can't quite make him out, but like the size and like hair of the guy kind of reminds you of Damien Karras from the first movie, who also died 17 years ago. They're like, I don't know.
We're
And
in
straight up, Kinnerman just asked him, "Hey, are you that dead priest I knew, Damien Karras?" So, no, that's not me. I'm the Gemini killer. Just all right.
you look at him and like that's him. That's Karis. He's a little fucked up and like he's got like a broken nose, but like that's him. It's literally him. The Gemini killer is dead. No, no, I'm not. I'm alive. Actor swap. No longer Jason Miller. It is now Brad Dourif as the Gemini killer.
Yeah, like you get and like they look similar enough. Like their faces, if you see them well lit, like, their faces aren't that similar. But like the way they keep it in shadow, and you're just like, wait, I'm pretty sure that's the same actor. Ain't no way they're just bringing this guy back from the dead, and then they swap actors. Like, no, wait, no, that's definitely not the same guy. But I could have swore. It's really, really well done. And like between the actor swap and how like both actors like kind of mess with their voice at different points in talking, like it really makes you feel like there is a lot going on inside, and it's a little too chaotic for you to really get a read on whoever the fuck he's talking to. Like between like once again, just like in the first movie, where Damien Karras talks to Reagan like over multiple sessions, trying to figure out what's what, trying to figure out okay, what all can I really believe here? Is this supernatural? Like Kinnaman essentially goes through the same process, but with more police style investigation instead of just pure psychology and faith driven investigation. But it's essentially the same setup where, all right, we'll come in for a chat. I got to hear what you have to say. I'm going to try to parse through your bullshit and find the truth here. But, like, eventually I'm just going to have to come to accept that this is a supernatural phenomenon that I'm dealing with, and I have to find a way to put a stop to this. And he's trying to do it, like, within the means of the law for quite a while. He's trying to be like, okay, is there any way I can, like, pin down how you're doing this? Can I get a method, a motive, a weapon, something I can take to my superior to get you out of this cell and into a jail cell or executed something.
He is killing people somehow, but there's no way he's actually leaving this room. So how is he doing it?
Are you getting people to operate on your behalf? Is someone letting you out of the cell? Like what the hell are you doing, man? And how are you telling me things about my life? Who's informing you on this shit? Cuz you know who I am. Of course, we the audience know it's demon magic. They don't have to explain that, but they go through like some pretty creative means of like informing you of how like certain methods of like okay, the killer in the body of Damon Karras will chill out and project its consciousness to other people who are like weaker willed that it can temporarily, just take control of and get shit done.
Within the hospital, there is a ward for like the mentally like in feeble, elderly people with schizophrenia, stuff like that.
Yeah, dementia.
Like all these, for lack of a better term, mentally weak people are incredibly easy for a demon to possess and act for the Gemini killer.
And noteworthy, around the time that the nurse who regularly checks on the patients in the wing that our best friend, before he was discovered, his body, just before that, one of these patients, the elderly, mentally not all there patients, one of them was just found passed out in the hall, like 20 feet from his room. Oh, well,
Like
gotta check on you. What's going on? Let's get you back. And then, 10 minutes later, when they're back in the hall they're supposed to be in, now let's check on this guy. Oh, that's a body.
like initially, oh well, she must have wandered off. Well, yeah, that
Yeah,
that
how did he
happens.
get here?
That happens sometimes.
Well, now, it's a body. We've got a couple of police around here. That's not going to happen again. No one's going to get killed right here again. We have like two cops on this floor, like patrolling.
Oh god,
We get like
like this
a
this
nice long ass scene.
the slowest
Like, it is
of burns.
with just two camera angles used at all. Primarily just one that goes like
Just this
from
one.
like one end of a hall down towards the teller desk with a little like chair by the corner where one of the cops sits, the other one occasionally walks through, maybe says something to him, and you're there for several minutes while it's just business as usual until a nurse like it just investigates. Oh, did I hear a door creaking or like ice or something? What is that?
I heard something. Let me go check it out. I'm a little scared
Yeah.
though. Someone did get murdered here like a day or two ago.
Yeah, let's take a quick look. Nothing risky. Uh,
Ah,
oh, jump scare fake out.
fake out jump scare. Like,
Whew.
okay,
Well,
it's
at least that wasn't a big deal. It was just some ice in his glass.
that could like be audibly heard at the end of the hall.
Yeah, that was really loud ice.
Yeah,
But
back to business. The cops wander back, sit down. They wander away. Well, back to my business.
it's the funniest. It's so fast. It cuts away from what's happening so fast that you have like less than 3 seconds to actually see what the hell is going on because it just she looks into a different room. You don't get the jump scare, and she walks back, and then you just see the person walking behind her with the big weapon.
So earlier in the film, these bone cutting scissors, which are not an actual thing, by the way. They were invented for the movie. It's these gigantic scissors that are meant to cut bone. They're these gigantic, imposing, menacing
Like
scissors.
big ass shears that are also spring loaded in order to like slice through most bones like pretty cleanly. And Kinderman's just like, that seems even with big shears, that seems really tough. Oh no, it's spring loaded to help. It's like, oh, well, that's hard to even pull apart. You need like good upper body strength to be able to do this. And he's like, oh no, it's usually pretty easy. That one's just like
that
rusty or something.
that one's old and rusty. Yeah, we had some newer ones ordered, but they haven't arrived or they went missing. I forget the exact details. Like there are bone cutting scissors that are
you
missing.
know what it was? It was the one he was being shown was the new one that they haven't got calibrated or something yet.
Right,
Like they
right.
need to fuck with it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, wait, so this is replacing an old pair? Yeah. Where's the old pair?
It got lost.
It's not here. Now we do get another scene that I really love, which is kind of a like answer to how iconic the upside down spider walk was in Exorcist 1,
Oh God.
where he goes and he, got to look around the hospital more. Like, yeah, there is John, I did it, sitting in his cell, but he's not giving me straight answers. I got to figure out if there's something or someone around here that's helping him out, or like if I can figure something out. Walks around the "We're not all there" ward, sees all these people, can't quite figure out if there's something off here or not. You get this shot of like someone peeking from like a closet or a closed door that he's from the direction he's not looking in. Cut back to the wide shot of him in the room. Old woman Spider-Man crawling across the ceiling above his head unseen.
What I love about that.
Straight Peter Parker that shit.
What I love about that. There's no audio. Like there's no sound effect of her walking on the
Yeah,
ceiling.
you don't hear a thing. Which makes it almost comical, but it's still like just such a strong visual.
Like it's so creepy. Like there's like usually when you get like that type of like this like scene done, there's like the spider theme, that kind of like creeping like violin, I think, where they pick at the violin strings. You don't get any of that. I don't think if there's any music.
No, it's
Just like silently creeping on the ceiling.
yeah, the fact that you don't hear anything is almost odd because you're like, okay, no. Like, just with your build and what you're wearing, you would be making some kind of noise just naturally by the fact that physics exist. From how fast you're moving, the material that ceiling is made of. There should be a noise here, but there's not.
She's moving.
That's wrong. That is incorrect.
She is moving.
It, like, almost creates a dissonance in your head.
Inhumanly fast and just completely inhuman.
And impossibly quiet.
Mm-hmm. It's so creepy and like like bone chilling, if I do say.
Yeah, it's just supposed to, but again, it's not like supposed to be like jumping out and terrifying you in a single moment. It's just letting you know how unsettling and off-putting the entirety of the situation and what is possible, like in the scenario, is. And that's what makes a lot of this, like, it is a lot of build up, a lot of here's something unsettling, but not directly like boo.
And he finds that the attending nurse has been killed.
Yeah.
And she's naked. Her uniform has been taken away. And he remembers one thing that the Gemini killer told him. It's the implication that his family is in danger.
Rush home.
Rush home.
Rush home. Like, can't get wifey on the phone. Book it.
No,
younger cop, drive now.
He calls home. His wife picks up the phone and answers to him. Oh, there's a nurse coming by? Okay. What? Cut back to Kinderman. He can't get her on the phone.
Like, the implication, even without seeing exactly what happened, you know in your head that they trust you to put 2 and 2 together and get 5. Wait, I mean 4. Oh no. He's driving home. He knows something's wrong. She believes everything's right as rain. You see a finger press a doorbell. It's not his finger. Cut to him still in the car. You know what's coming. He's gonna be too late.
Like we see the mental ward patient like dressed as a nurse in the taxi, just driving to his house. All the while, the groaning, growling is like playing.
Like they're doing everything to let you know he's not making it in time. He will not be in time. Like he's going to open his front door to like bloodstains, decapitated heads, something like that.
He makes it home, and
he's getting out of the car. He's pulling his gun. He's telling the younger cop, "Go around from the other side, just in case." Opens the door. Oh, hi, honey. What's up?
He makes it home. Everything's fine.
Everything's cool.
It's fine, younger cop. Put your gun down.
This old lady says she's a nurse. She kind of nodded off. I don't know what's up. Can you explain that?
Kinderman's like, "Oh, the fuck's going on? The fuck? What? Why did he leave me here?" Brad Dourif voice coming out of the old lady. "I'm glad you're here, Kinderman. I wanted you to see this."
Ah, it's Chucky.
Pulls out the big scissors, clamps down on the daughter's head. Grandma grabs her head and pulls it out of the way.
That shot is so fucking funny. Like that is like a fucking old cartoon, like on a stage getting pulled off stage by a comically large hook type of funny. Like just grabbing the daughter's head and yoinking her out of the way of death. So
like the scissors get so damn close.
It's right there on her, yoinked away in the nick of time. backhands like this 6 foot tall, like reasonably built cop, just backhand to like the sternum. He flies through the air, but like busts their ceiling light on the back of his hand as he flies through and crashes into the wall. Turns around, overpowers Kinderman, pins him against the wall, lets him know, yeah, no, you were too late. I just wanted you to see what I was doing here, man. And it's like it's so off-putting, like what is possible here, but the fact that it's a little old lady doing all this makes it also kind of funny. It's nuts. The scene goes hard.
But the Gemini stopped. Something back at the
Yes.
hospital is happening. Earlier in the film, we learn about this priest, Father Morning. We're informed. Oh,
They mention did an exorcism himself in the Philippines.
Mm.
Reference.
It is a reference to the real life exorcism that occurred. Yeah, we learned about him earlier, and like we get a sense that oh he knows something's coming. But like okay, so this is a studio interference thing where originally Father Morning wasn't in the film at all, and the movie would end with after that whole interaction with the big scissors, Kinnaman would go back to the hospital and just shoot him, just shoot Father Karras, and it would end there. However, the studio said, "Well, there should be an exorcism in the movie. You should add an exorcism at the end." And usually, studio interferences are to the detriment of movies, but this is the rare case, the only case I'm aware of, where a studio interference wound up being a positive.
Yeah, because we do get a big climactic final confrontation. And like if they had to do it, they went all out to do it. It's weird. We get very little character, not even a lot of build up. You get like this father like in his place, his I'm a Christian paraphernalia like starts getting messed with. His little Jesus on the wall falls down and is bleeding. It's oh man, something's coming, and he can just sense through the force that he needs to go to this specific cell in this specific ward of this specific hospital. He
I
just knows.
I think he's that hospital's priest. I think that was one of the things I mentioned.
I don't know if they did like hand wave it with a stray line of dialogue, I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's there's not a ton of justification given. It's just all right, exorcism time. That's the title of the movie.
I'm
We're
here.
doing it.
I'm here to exercise you. Like there is enough build up. There's enough there to like let you know. Okay, yeah, this guy's here. He's gonna do the thing.
And like he knows what he's doing, and it starts off pretty similar to in the first movie. We got prayers. I believe there might be a bit of holy water. Uh, but this time instead of moving furniture, there's really not movable furniture in this room. So he just flings the priest against the wall and the ceiling.
Yeah, the
And
demon
it says
does
that he can
not.
just do that, and there's nothing that the priest can really do in retaliation.
The demon does not want to bother fucking with him. He just wants. Fuck you! I'm just gonna kill you. He glues him to the
Yeah,
ceiling, and Father Morning is like peeling his skin off.
yeah, like he only like anti-gravities him up in order to weld his like flesh to the roof, and then lets gravity take hold again, so like his weight peels his skin off of him. It goes hard, and I do think it's kind of important to mention there is like very little, but definitely established hints of Karras still being in there. They do explain that like he was clinically dead for all intents and purposes. But as the demon exited his body upon death, it was somehow able to
The,
yoink the spirit of the Gemini killer and say, "Yo, this body that's on its way out, it's got an open vacancy. Get in there, man." And somehow a new spirit getting in as Pazuzu leaves makes it possible to like keep that body just barely alive. And that spirit spends years getting this brain to rebuild itself until he's able to actually act again. But Karras is still kind of in there a little bit, wanting to fight back, but not having the strength to do it. But he is in there, and this is established beforehand,
yeah,
which is important.
in one of the lengthy dialogue scenes with the Gemini killer and Kinderman, he in detail describes the process that it took to just regrow the brain cells of Father Karras, just so he can come back and just start killing again.
Yeah, and like in the like brief flashes where it's the old actor and you can tell it's supposed to be like this little flash of Karis. You're like, okay, he's still a little in there. Or that one line when the nurse mentions one offhanded thing he said that sounded different from the other stuff that he would say in like a desperate, honest voice. And he's like, oh man, that was Karis getting to have his say for just a second.
When Kinderman
But
arrives,
the priest is already done.
we don't know, he's not dead because he does a little thing after.
Yeah, but he's essentially been defeated.
And Kinderman kind of like he gives in, like the law will not work against this. Everything that he knows and had faith in, like will not work against this.
Yeah. Demons are, in fact, more powerful than the concept of the law.
And I'll read out this quote.
Do it.
This I believe in. I believe in death. I believe in disease. I believe in injustice and inhumanity, torture and anger and hate. I believe in murder. I believe in pain. I believe in cruelty and in infidelity. I believe in slime and stink and every crawling, putrid thing, every possible ugliness and corruption. You son of a bitch, I believe in you.
It's really strong, and the actor is earning that paycheck as he spits these lines. He is doing it, man. He's putting his whole chest into it. And like as he goes through this monologue, like the demon is activating his powers and being like, "Yeah, we're in this now."
like
And like in the face of all of it, Kinderman keeps going the whole dialogue. It's really strong.
the floor like caves in, opens up, and hell just comes out of it.
Yeah.
He's shown the body
See
of
bodies like reaching up out, like spirits trying to escape the hell pit.
On a cross made of out of ores. Like the body of the little boy who died at the beginning of the movie is there.
Yeah, whose spirit? Oh, we forgot to mention that after his friend the priest dies, Kinderman just dreams himself into the afterlife and says hi to everyone that's died.
It is after Father Dyer died, but before Kinderman learns that he died. It's
Yeah,
how
he just
learns.
goes and visits all the spirits of the dead, and then sees that his friend is there.
It's such an interesting little scene because because like the little boy Tommy, we haven't said his name yet, but his name is Tommy. He sees Tommy there, like, oh hi Tommy, I'm so sorry you died.
He's like, yeah, me too, but hey, I'm here. Whatever.
There's a couple of like interesting cameos in this. Fabio is there as an angel.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson is there as a deceased homeless man.
It's really interesting, and it's an almost consistency in the movie because again, it opens on this odd dream sequence of Kinderman like seeing Tommy and being handed like a rose, and he wakes up, and that's the day he discovers Tommy's dead. Then he has this dream of seeing all these spirits of the afterlife, and then his friends among them wakes up. That's the day he finds out his friend is dead. He doesn't have one like that for the second murder. And like there's nothing else established about him having a unique connection to God or the afterlife. It's just these two things, but the fact that it's more than one makes it like almost a consistency. It's weird.
That bit where he the little kid is handing him the flower. That's not Kinderman. That's from the point of view of the Gemini killer.
I thought that was a dream sequence because why would he be?
Because he just sees the guy like, oh hey, I'll hand this guy a flower. Because there's the dialogue of I have dreams of a rose and then falling down a long flight of steps. That is the opening dialogue.
Right.
Technically from Karras's perspective, but like in the body of the Gemini killer possessing someone.
Yeah, I guess that just wasn't how I read it when I first watched the movie, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then it is the dream is an entirely unique sequence then.
Yeah.
Which almost makes it more weird.
It is the tonally most different scene in the whole movie because it's like he sees Tommy like I'm sorry you died, Tommy. Hey,
Father, it's such a casual thing too.
Hey, Father Dyer, what's up? Listen, once we both wake up, let's go do something. I'm not gonna wake up, huh?
What?
Like there's angels
so
playing.
Odd.
There's an angel, a bunch of angels like playing like brass instruments.
There's all sorts of weird shit in that dream.
That whole sequence is so bizarre, but I like it a lot.
There's a lot more like I don't know if it's more, but it feels like it stands out more, just like the amount of like just symbolic imagery. Like there's a lot of like, okay, now people did this and that. Like here's just a random like statue of Jesus like bleeding from his eyes or bleeding from the crown of thorns. And I felt like there was just more of that type of thing in this movie than the first one.
Definitely, definitely.
But yeah, we get to see the image of Tommy crucified on his oars again. We get to see all the spirits reaching up out of this hell pit as like Kinderman is just desperately trying to defy the Gemini killer, and the priest is lying half dead on the ground.
There's a little spotlight coming from the window, guiding the priest to the cross. Just the priest grabs the cross and calls for Karis to fight it. You're still there. You can still fight. Fight it, Karis. Karis wins back his body for a very brief moment
and uses his one moment to stop the chaos and scream, "Do it now! Please kill me!" And Kinderman obliges.
Just he mag dumps into his friend's body.
No one-liner, no build-up, no ceremony. Just he had his moment and he took it. It's very raw. Overall, I think I like the first one better, but there's more like enjoyable dialogue and more like I guess enjoyable depression in in Exorcist 3.
Exorcist.
I kind of like how dour things are in it.
Yeah, Exorcist 3 is basically the evil that was defeated in the first movie wants revenge. So he's going to go after all the connecting ties from that movie into this movie. Father Karras torment and torture his body and soul forever. Kill the chaplain who approved the exorcism. Kill Father Dyer, the friend of Father Karras. Torment Kinderman. And for the Gemini killer himself, all he wants is for Kinderman to tell the public that the Gemini killer is back.
Yeah. And also fuck this one little boy that, that guy kind of knew.
All to just bring about pain and suffering and torment and despair to as far as it can go, as far as possible. Like, just losing in that first movie was like the worst thing that could happen to this demon, and he's gonna get his comeback. He's gonna get his get back on this.
He's getting the salty run back.
This is his run back. This is the run back of evil.
It's the salty that counts, pig. It's the salty that matters. And he's still lost.
He's still lost.
Like, it's not even a particularly hopeful ending. It's just, that's over at least. Jeez.
It's over. Evil lost, but we are affected by it regardless.
Yeah, and like, I was almost immediately like, how does he explain any of this now? That's 2 bodies in there. What does he say to anyone who asks the obvious questions? What words can he spit out of his mouth to explain any of this? But, the movie ends before we can deal with that. Because this isn't one that can give you a somewhat hopeful or even bittersweet send-off. It's just, we won, but fuck. Oh, jeez.
Like, these both of these movies really exemplify like just how like overpowering evil can be, particularly just like the evil of a demon.
Yeah, and like it's weird because the second one goes harder in like just particular acts of evil, but it's done by the agent of a demon and not a demon himself. Because like Pazuzu's not back. Pazuzu sent the Gemini killer to keep fucking shit up in its place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's inherently an interesting angle because it's not like this mysterious evil trying to like just spread misery through any means necessary. This is a human consciousness that has very particular ways it enjoys inflicting its pain and suffering upon the world. But it's doing so in this demonic way through these mystic means, which is really fun. I mean, fun isn't really the word, but like the performance is very enjoyable.
Oh yeah, like just Brad Dourif just staring directly into the camera lens and just God, what's the term when like the actor is just like soaking it up?
Bro, he's hamming it up.
Hamming it up. Like he is commanding that camera. It zooms into like just his mouth as he's like he is like describing the horrible thing he did to Father Dyer to kill him. And it's just
like the process by which, and then you got to lift the legs up and like kind of like shake and beat him a bit to make sure you get as many of those last drops as you can. 'Cause you can't get 100%, but you can get just about all the blood out if you do it this specific way. I practiced.
It zoomed into his mouth, and every single word he is savoring it. Like he's reliving what he did to Father Dyer, and he's like getting off on it.
It's a you get that same energy of like I'm enjoying like acting as this evil like caricature. Like he's enjoying that in like the same way the actor for Palpatine was having a good time making those prequels, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna crank it up to 11. We're just gonna go. It was one of the like a couple of those monologues got like so intense and deranged. Like they could have, just to mess with the audience, like had him like getting close to the camera into one of those close-ups and where he's staring dead on, and then like cut to the wide shot and he's like Kinnaman isn't even there anymore. He's just been ranting to a brick wall for 40 seconds. And like it wouldn't have even felt out of place.
Yeah, like Kinderman is just there, just like listening to all this. At some
Like
point
he
he
just has
can't.
to witness this.
At some point he can't take it anymore, so he just fucking backhands him and breaks his nose.
Also, shout outs to it being of its time when every second doctor you see is lighting up a cigarette as they're doing their doctor job.
This 1990, you can still smoke in the hospital.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot. The good old days. But yeah, as I said, like both of them are incredibly strong. I think I prefer the first one overall. Do you have a favorite between these two?
3 is definitely my favorite of the two.
Any particular reason?
Just the overall energy of the movie. Just how like depressing and dour it gets.
That is really enjoyable.
I think like most of all it's just Kimmerman's performance, the actor George C. Scott.
Yeah, he's really doing it. Like I enjoy how intense and like over the top it gets in Exorcist 3, but like I kind of appreciate how like 7% of the time The Exorcist 1 is a very quiet, subtle movie until those moments where it really needs to let it rip. And even then, it usually takes it as a slow pace, even in the intense moments. Like you're slowly watching the bed rise up off the ground, or like her break the straps and then the body slowly rises off the bed. It's like really letting you just sit in these slow, almost awe-inspiring moments of like how bad it's getting. I did have a question on like, aside from Pazuzu himself, who is again only name dropped in the second movie, was there any other like returning elements of Exorcist 1 and Exorcist 2? Because I know that like, Chris and Reagan aren't in it. Are they in 2? Like they're not in 3.
Reagan is in 2.
Reagan is in 2. Okay. Because I was wondering like if those characters were just like Dunzo forever, nothing ever happened to him, or I mean, as far as we're concerned, nothing ever happened to him.
As far as we're concerned, nothing ever happened to them ever again. Like they are completely saved from like the whole.
They never met James Earl Jones ever.
Reagan never appeared in a legacy sequel many years later.
Yeah, okay, because I know that some franchises like have like an almost obsession with the idea of, and then the girl who was like haunted or chased or whatever in the very first one comes back as a main character in a future movie to like get her revenge, or to be the strong heroine we need now. Or I'm glad that didn't happen in this. If they were still making Exorcist movies, there would be a real risk of it going the route of like Halloween.
I am glad that they never made a 4 or a different cut of 4 or a legacy sequel or a upcoming sequel to that legacy sequel.
There's there's an upcoming Exorcist?
Yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
no, these things never happened.
No? Oh, good. Oh, you scared me for a second there. I was getting concerned.
Yeah, it's
one of those like pristine, untouched franchises.
It's a very good thing these things never happened. The writer of the book did make like one documentary about exorcisms. Oh. Although that's mostly just a nothing burger.
Okay.